Thank you for staying with us. We're still talking about the Rivers situation, politics in Rivers State, and of course, the death of Mr. Elianya as confirmed by the police in Rivers State. We have joining me on the telephone from Rivers State in Port Harcourt, that is a DSP, the PPRO DSP, Ahmed Mohammed. Thank you so much for talking to us. Tell us, what more can you tell us about the death of this former lawmaker?
Okay, when we got the information that there was somebody who was attacked by suspected robbers, and then by the time our men arrived at the scene of the incident, he was already in the pool of his blood, and they took him and took him to the hospital, and where it was certified that he was dead. And after the time our men took him to the hospital, his identity was unknown to us. It was later that we came to realize he is Henry, the lawmaker of the Rivers State Police Command, Rivers State Police House of Assembly. But what I want to tell members of the public is, yes, it still remains a suspected armed robbery, but our investigation will unravel the circumstances surrounding the situation, and as well, let me assure his families and his loved ones that the Rivers State Police Command works assiduously in order to ensure that the fleeing culprits are apprehended. And I have the belief sooner than later we will get at them and we will make them to answer the consequences of their action.
All right, thank you so much, DSP Ahmed Mohammed, for talking to us. Of course, we keep touch with you so that you can give us more as you get them in your investigation, because you said the investigations still continue, so we may not be able to get too far with these at the moment. But let me quickly get the reaction of the Commissioner of Information in Rivers State, Dr. George, about this kind of killing. Tell us what the government exactly is thinking about this situation.
Well, you know, it's very sad that anyone, whether politician or not, you know, should be killed in this kind of circumstances. But you see, we are unable to comment categorically concerning what might be the cause of his death. We can only say on behalf of the government that our sympathies go to the family of the deceased. What specific circumstances led to his death and who might have orchestrated this killing, we are unable to say at this point because obviously the investigations are still on.
All right. You've been talking about the situation as regarding the APC, but quickly let me allow Mr. Chris Feinbone to join us. He's the APC Publicity Secretary. He joins us from Rivers State. Tell me, you've heard what Dr. George has said, and there are loads and loads of incriminating issues coming up against the administration of some members of your party, especially the last administration, that of Governor Amechi, like he mentioned. Tell us the reaction of your party towards the Supreme Court judgment when we're receiving the more details about it today, and again, the kind of death that we're hearing again today in Rivers State.
Well, Shehu and viewers, thank you for giving me on. I would say that our party, the APC, is not surprised that your guest in the studio, Dr. George, has come to sing the same old song he's been singing. The only difference is that when he was doing all of this in the past, we all saw him as a Rivers professional that was interested in the affairs of his state. Then, but now we know that all of those hopping from one studio to another in Lagos, especially your own studio channels, was to angle for the position of Commissioner for Information of Rivers State. That is an aside. Another matter that has been very active with him is the issue of lampooning the former governor of Rivers State, Right Honorable Chibikere Timi Amechi. He had raised a lot of issues, but I tell you, there is no single truth in all of those issues he has raised about Governor Amechi. I want the government of Nyesom Wike, let the government of Nyesom Wike come out with the analysis of the cost of monorails around the world. The moment they do that, if they even try to do it, they will discover, to their disappointment, that the Port Harcourt monorail is the cheapest per mile around the world. Let them do the checks and come up with what the cost of the Dallas monorail, the monorails in the Eastern European countries and all of that come to.
But apart from that, Mr. Finebone, is the fact that he said loads of those projects are abandoned and unfinished. Even the monorail that you're talking about is not yet completed.
Can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
That is the height of intellectual dishonesty. How long did it take the United Kingdom to build the underground? There are generational projects that a government cannot finish within its tenure. If every government comes up with projects, it can only finish. We will continue to be stunted. There are projects that will take you, no matter how frugal you are, no matter how you are on top of your game, that will take you 10 years. Now, will you rewrite the Constitution to be in power for 10 years in order to finish your projects? There was never a time the monorail was planned to be finished within 4 years or 8 years. That's the mistake we make. And our intellectuals harp on these things for just political expediency.
Well, let me again quickly tell you, if I may come in here, quickly tell me, your party seems not to be comfortable with the outcome of the Supreme Court, knowing full well that outcome perhaps brings with it a statement of finality. Your candidate, Dakuku Pt.2, has condemned that particular judgment. What again would you say you want aside that if you're not satisfied?
Okay, I'll tell you the position of the APC over the Supreme Court judgment. But let me also mention this, that Dr. Tam George has dishonestly told you that so many billions were pumped into the Rainbow Housing Project. That project is purely a project being handled by the private sector. It's a PPP project for which the government has very minimal involvement. It is, let me be sorry to mention, First Bank and all the rest that are involved in that project. So coming to tout it as a project of the state government under Amechi is the height of intellectual dishonesty.
Thank you so much, Mr. Finebone. I'm sorry that we may not be able to go further than that. Your final words in 30 seconds.
Well, Dr. You know, one of the key messages, I don't want to respond to Chris. I know, we know him, you know, he's just a propagandist. But one of the key messages I want to get out, Sean, is that we have rerun elections, you know, that are coming. The government and people of Rivers State will not accept any election that does not reflect the free will of the people. Only free, fair, and transparent elections, whatever the outcomes, will be acceptable to the Rivers people. Any process that is rigged will be rejected by the Rivers people.
Dr. Tam George, many thanks for coming on the program. And Mr. Chris Finebone, the Publicity Secretary of the APC in Rivers State, many thanks for coming on the program. I hope that we'll talk about this more some other time. I'm sure Kimbaloy on behalf of the team. It's Friday. Let's catch ourselves some other time on Sunday to talk more about politics on Channels TV. Bye for now.